Hey everyone, this is basketball loving Dr. NBA. Today I've got an interesting story to tell today. The best basketball players that gather to play in the NBA show unexpected passes that average men cannot accomplish every season. Bounce passes off the ground that opposing players cannot expect. Looking in a different direction and making no-look passes, alley-oop passes for dunks, elbow passes, through the leg passes, etc. These assists are usually done by the point guards a lot. The players that play this position are generally a bit shorter, but have fast speed, driving abilities, steady ball handling that controls the movement of the team. At the same time, in complicated situations, have the sight to make great passes. Today I will talk about an NBA point guard that is the top of the legends. Magic Johnson is today's topic. Actually, his real name is Earvin Johnson Jr., but because he was a magician on the court and showed crazy performances, he was called Magic Johnson. Not just enemies, but beyond allies. He faked out cameramen with his passes daily as well. I will talk about this master of a skill player in this video. 1959, Lansing, Michigan. Earvin Johnson was born as one of 6 children, and living in a very tight family, he was a very bright kid. When he was young, in a car garage, General Motors, where his father worked, he helped him get rid of garbage and used up items. And his father played basketball in high school, so Earvin started basketball through that and fell in love with it, enough to practice all day. He would go out every morning at 7:30 a.m. with a basketball and start his day like that. As time went by, Earvin was now heading into high school, having the goal of succeeding at basketball. Earvin wanted to go to Sexton High School that was close to his house, because most of the students that were there were also African American and had one of the best basketball teams in Michigan. But he couldn't enter Sexton and was forcefully enrolled into Everett High School. That reason was that the American education wanted to mix races within the students in the school, wanting to change the racism that separated the white and black from schools. For this process, they were forced to ride on the same school bus as well, which meant that black students would go to a white school and white students would take the bus to a black school. This was forced in the 1970s. And because so, Earvin and his sister and brother went to a white school named Everett High School. There was a lot of racism in his school days, and he was picked on a lot. And Earvin, after enrollment, played for the basketball team that was full of white students, and was picked on again. They did not pass him intentionally, and acted as if black people didn't exist. Getting irritated by this, Earvin had gotten in a lot of fights in school. Fortunately, they squashed their beef with the help of their coach, and after, Earvin, with his basketball skills and socializing skills, would end racism with his teammates and start to play basketball for Rio. In the high school season, Earvin would have the most points and rebounds and was a key player for the school and always controlled the game. In a game when he was grade 11, he put up 36 points, 18 rebounds, and 16 assists, showing an unreal performance. And a reporter seeing this, Earvin's play is like magic was what he had in mind, and gave the nickname Magic to Earvin. And from there on, people called Earvin Magic Johnson. Eventually, his nickname was more known than his actual name. Moving forward, as Magic Johnson was sweeping all the games, in his graduating year in the 76-77 season with 27 wins and 1 loss, won the championship in Michigan. And after got offers from many prestigious universities, and Magic chose Michigan State University out of them, that was close to his house, and the head coach promised that he would play point guard. His size being a beast of 6'7", he would pick not a forward or a center, but a guard because his best friend in his high school days had passed away from a car accident. And that friend's name was Reggie Chastain, who was a point guard. He played one-on-one with Magic a lot and taught him a lot about passing. After hearing his friend died from a car accident, he spent all day crying in his room. And that's how much Reggie meant to Magic. And that would be one of the many reasons why Magic would only play point guard. And now, playing in the position he wanted, Magic's performance, even though he was only a first year, was enough to lead the team's offense with an average of 17 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 7.4 assists, showing a versatile play. Being a tall point guard and having steady ball handling and passing sense, he was a unique character at the time. And because so, started to become famous very quickly. At the same time, a player that started his university career a year early, Larry Bird, top prospect, had gotten the same spotlight as Magic. Bird had an average of over 30 points and was leading his Indiana State University team, and in Magic's second year in the 78-79 season, in the NCAA tournament they faced off. And that would be in the finals. This would be a huge rivalry, and in this match a lot of fans gathered more than usual. It got enough attention to come out on TV, and with the cheer of the fans, the game had started. And the winner for that day was Magic Johnson. At the time, Indiana State University was a one-man team led by Bird, so 2 or 3 players would focus on Bird on defense. And because so, he obviously had a weaker game than usual. In getting the championship and the MOP award, Magic entered the 1979 NBA Draft. And there, he was proudly picked first overall by the Western team, LA Lakers. On another note, Larry Bird, who lost his championship, was picked by the Eastern team Boston Celtics, and the rivalry between those two prospects carried on. These two would face off in the finals for the championship title 3 more times. With Magic being the point guard, the Lakers had become a real contestant for the championship, with their team getting stronger, and his passing had upgraded even more from university. It made fools out of opponents. With his height of 6'9", his speed and reflexes were inhumanly fast. Using his long legs, his big movements, and offbeat dribbles made defenders lose focus. With his long arms and strong grip, he would shake the ball over the place, so defenders didn't know where or when he would pass, or if he would pass at all, which made it hard to find the right timing to block. And in every transition with Magic's amazing offense, opponents would always fall short. And even if Magic was stopped on the rush, he would post up with his back turned and use his strength to push back opponents, and at the same time, like he had eyes in the back of his head, would thread the needle for the pass. And he also had a great mid-range shot, so it was hard to give him space just because of his dribbling skills. Anyways, with his strength, he would make strong bounce passes, and looking in another direction, Magic's no-look passes or dribbling with a layup was hard for any defenders to block, and turned many heads, and as a result, many teammates were able to play offense comfortably. This was the first time in NBA history having this good of a point guard play for the league. And also, with his bright laughs and easygoing personality, many fans had loved Magic. And as a result, being a rookie, was picked as an all-star, and at the same time led his team to the playoffs, all the way to the finals between the West and the East. The opponent would be the Philadelphia 76ers. In a heated battle, it was tied 2-2. The center and captain of the team, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, had injured his ankle in the 5th game. He was actually a player who had the most career points in NBA history at that time, and was the one who created the unstoppable legendary sky hook shot. Being one of the team's key players, Kareem showed his worth and helped the win of the 5th game, but with his injury could not play in the next game. The Lakers were left shook, and the 6th game was a away game, so they kinda gave up and were planning to take them on in the 7th final home game. But in a dark situation like this, there was one player laughing, and that would be Magic Johnson. He confidently said, "Don't worry everyone, we got Magic." And instead of key player Abdul, he played center in the 6th game. Being shorter than the usual center, and only playing point guard, suddenly wanting to play center? The head coach and most of the fans didn't have high expectations on winning the championship in the 6th game. But Magic, beating everyone's expectations, put up 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists, just going beast mode, and with a 16-point deficit won in his first season won the championship. And at the time, his playing style was not like an ordinary center that plays in the paint zone. He kept his usual style and led the game in his own way. And the only difference was that his offense for mid-shots and driving for layups had increased. And the opposing defense just didn't know how to handle it. And plus that, they fouled him so many times that he got 14 free throws. Saving the team from darkness, Magic, at only 20 years old, would win the finals and get the Finals MVP award. And showing this miracle like a movie performance, he would go on to get much fame and honor. He was a strong and key member in the team, enough to go even face to face with the head coach. But in his second year, because of a huge knee injury, couldn't play 45 games and fell from the playoffs. Because of his injury, his athletic abilities fell to some degree. And at the time, the head coach thought if he kept playing point guard who had to use speed, his knees would totally give out, so he offered him a different position, and his usual position was given more to backup players. But Magic refused to give up playing point guard, and said if he doesn't get to play, he told the press that he would go to a different team. And in this disagreement between Magic and the head coach, the association took Magic's hand and brought in a new head coach. And after all the trouble, Magic in his 3rd year in the 81-82 season would lead the team on offense like he did in his rookie year. Because of his knee injury, his speed had decreased, but his game performance had gotten better. His ball handling was beyond just skilled, but it was enough to leave the defenders completely shook. His passing and power had gotten too precise and strong. It was almost like watching lasers shoot out. Magic's acting and passing ability was enough to fake the cameraman as well, and even confuse his teammates at times. If not focused on receiving the pass and made turnovers, that player would get reamed out by Magic for starters. Because so, only players that could receive Magic's passes were allowed to play for the Lakers was kind of the unspoken law. But even though it was an unreadable pass, players would still receive the reflexes and get points, so it wasn't that big of a deal. As a result, Magic in his third year in the regular season had the second most average assists, and in the playoffs without losing once, with 8 straight wins made it to the finals. The opponent was the once defeated Philadelphia 76ers. 2 years after their meeting in the finals, the score would be 4-2 for the Lakers. And just like that, Magic had won the championship title twice and got the finals MVP once again, ending the 81-82 season perfectly. Now in his peak, Magic for the next 2 years in a row would be the regular season assist leader. And so, Magic was known to be the best in the NBA, having building a great career to go with it. But just then, there was a wall he would hit in his bright future. And that would be his rival who had been building up since his loss in university, Larry Bird. Since Magic's second year of getting the assist leader title in the 83-84 season, these two have been going at it all the time. Being known all over the world, his performances and stories after them are too much, so we will head into them in part 2. This is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more content. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe